my gosh, who is this? Everybody, welcome to the Ben Maynard program, also known as the Catherine Maynard program. He doesn't know, but I'm hijacking it. He's away for a little bit, so I get a chance to tell everybody what I want to know, what everybody wants to know. Okay, so let's see. Did everyone feel the earthquake that lives in New York? I think it was a 4.8. That's the top of the news today. And also there was a hurricane somewhere in the world, I'm sure. And maybe, I don't know, some type of avalanche. I don't know. Anyway, so I hope someone's out there listening. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see if there's any questions. But if you want to call in, oh, my phone's not here. The phone number is 909-268-5135. Okay, so what's going on in everyone's life right now? You can message me or call in. Okay, so today the topic is going to be 100 greatest albums of 1984. Now remember, this year was a year before I graduated. So, oh no, actually a year after I graduated. I graduated in 83. Can you believe that? It's already been over, gosh, a long time from now. But I still remember those years listening to the radio, and just, it was so different back then. The radio now is just, you could just, if you think of a song or country song or rap music, church music, anything you want to listen, worship, anything you want to listen to is right at your fingertips. But think back like in 1983. No, none of that was around. You had your certain bands that you liked. You had to go buy the albums, the CDs, and listen to everything. Am I right? But one thing that hasn't changed is love for music. Everyone still loves their favorite bands. And it's funny because even bands from years ago, like from 1983, they're still around. And if they're not, there's a cover band for them. So bands are still popular from back then. And I think even more than new bands. I mean, I don't go see any new shows, so I don't even know like what's out there, if there's different bands, genres that are popping up without me even knowing. But I know you're all waiting for Ben to get on the show rather than hear me talk. But I am going to have a spinoff on this show. It's going to be my cousin and Yvette and me talking about nothing. So it'll be more fun with us to gabbing about nothing. And we might have like a cocktail while we're drinking. Not sure. Well, most likely. Because everyone knows I like to mix drinks. And lately we've been having stouts, imperial stouts. But I still like my lemon drops, and I'm trying to think what my other favorite, margaritas, of course, Cadillac margaritas. Yeah, but anything else, what I should do is make like cocktails on the show. So people could write in and say, hey, Catherine, make, a Bloody Mary on the show. Like, what's your favorite take? Or make an old fashioned, because those are a lot of fun to make. We had a party one time and I got experience making old fashioned. Oh, look who walked into the studio.
Finish your story.
Of course, with his peeps.
Finish your story.
No, I'm talking about nothing. So.
Oh, well, I don't know. You're talking about nothing.
Yeah, no, I was talking about old fashions when we had the Father's Day party here, and then I did crispy bacon, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But here is your host of the evening.
Wow.
Well, thank you everybody for letting me sit in for a quick minute. And here he is.
Get right there in a second. Come on over here. Yeah. No, come this way.
It's okay, I'll go this way.
Yeah, but
It's okay.
all right, you got it?
Yeah.
4. Wow. You went like 4 minutes. Oh.
Oops.
You're
Yeah.
I know. Here's your phone.
Okay.
Let me turn this ringer off. Okay? Turn that off. Let me get something set up here, and then we're going to go, people. Let's see. Boom. And, okay, you see that right there. Friday Night Live, right? Yeah. Okay, well, we already know it's Friday night. We know it's live. This is what's more important. Bam. All right. I want you to call into the program. Okay, let's do this properly. Hey there. Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. It's Friday night and we are live. As you know, this program is available on multiple podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. There's so many others too. I can't even get into all of them. But if you just do a search for the Ben Maynard program, you'll have multiple options to choose from. Just choose the one you want. Most of the time, or actually all the time, I like to steer everyone towards Buzzsprout because that's where my website is. Okay. And of course, if you can't resist all this right here, you're watching tonight live on YouTube, then I'll ask you please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let me click on the comments here. We got 2 comments already. Oh, get this party started. That was from Damn Giver. Oh, okay. I got you. I got you there, Jerry. I got you. Okay. So, oh, yes, let me finish. I haven't even finished my opening yet. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram. Simply Ben Maynard Program. So, plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and listening pleasure. And with that, here we go. It's Friday night and we are live. Yes. Oh, I have to thank Catherine. She, what a day. What a day. So, as most people know, but we have new listeners, new viewers. We're slowly growing the audience a little bit at a time. And but most everybody knows that I work for Cisco Food Service and I'm a delivery driver. And I've been in this industry for, I don't know, 38 years. So I started work at 4:00 this morning and I had a real easy day. And it really was an easy day, even though I put in a lot of hours, but it was an easy day. So I get to my first stop. I get to my first stop and they're not open yet. It's a chain, a restaurant chain. It's called Black Bear Diner. For those of us, they're nationwide. They're all over the place, but they weren't open. And I got there at, I don't know, 4:30. They open at 7, but they have to start prepping everything. So they usually would show up around 5. Well, of course, they showed up at 20 minutes after 5. But when I pulled up, and it had been raining here in Southern California a little bit overnight and into the early morning hours, but it wasn't raining at that time. And I looked up at the sky and clouds were breaking and there was a lot of, it was clear. So I thought, well, let me get my stuff out. I'll start prepping. I'll start getting everything ready to go. When the customer gets here, I'm just going to jam it all in and get out of here. Well, of course, at about, I don't know, 5:00, it starts to rain. Okay. But I have my stuff out. Like I said, I've got it out of the truck. But I took care of it. I protected it. And then it starts to hail. Yeah. Probably hailed for, gosh, a good 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So, yeah, it was kind of cool though. Whatever. No big deal. But I ended my day in Palm Desert. Now, for those of you who don't know, who don't live in Southern California, Palm Desert is easily a 2 to 2.5 hour drive. Well, it's about 2 to 2.5 hour drive from Los Angeles with no traffic. No traffic. All right. But my last stop is in Palm Desert, and I start heading out there. It was like 10 minutes to 11. And I threw it in my, put the address in my GPS and I figured, okay, I'm going to get there Supposed to get there at 1:10. Well, of course, as I'm driving out, it starts raining, then it's pouring, and traffic is backed up, so on and so on. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, this is going to take a lot longer than it should. So I got out there. It took me almost 2 hours to get out there. I got out there about 10 minutes to 2. And I left and headed back. Now, my office and where I work out of Walnut, California. So certainly not as far as Los Angeles. So it should have taken me about an hour and 15 minutes to drive back. 2 hours to get back. So I didn't get back and I didn't get off work until 5:30. So to drive home, to try to get a little something in my belly before this show starts, because this is Friday Night Live, right? We know what happens on Friday nights. So then I have to take a shower because I can't, come on, I'm not going to come on this show in work clothes. You all deserve more than that. You deserve better than that. So I'm doing all this and I'm trying to get ready. I had everything set up. I got everything set up here in the studio prior to jumping in the shower. And yeah, well, it was about 3 minutes to 7. And I said to Catherine, I yelled at her, I said, hey, you want to get the show started? She's like, oh, you're telling me now? And she doesn't know how to turn any of this stuff on. She doesn't know how to get the stream going or anything like that. So I had to explain it to her real quick. As I stood in the studio doorway, naked, just getting out of the shower. Yeah. Not a sight that really anyone needs to see. So the bottom line is she covered for me for like 4.5 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. I have no idea what she talked about. I have no idea what was going on, but we're here now. And let's get into it. So Friday Night Live, what we're going to do here, obviously, let me see. We've got the Malort Challenge. Yeah, that's a regular thing on Friday nights. The Malort Challenge. Anyone who calls into the program, I have to take a shot of this beautiful, nastiest tasting liquor in the world. Yes, that's my punishment. It's my punishment for you calling in. And I'll probably throw a bean in there from Bean Boozled. Yep. Let's see. We're going to play Stump the Chump. Who's the chump? Oh, that's me. So you call in with music trivia. If you stump me, I have to take a shot. Now, this isn't a drinking show for anyone that's new out there in the audience watching this evening. It's not a drinking show. It's not let's get Ben drunk. But these are my punishments, and I'm certainly trying to grow the audience. So they are incentives for you, the members of the listening and viewing audience, to get involved with the show. All right. And last week, yeah, I was so disappointed in myself last week. We did that. We didn't. I did. I did that peep pack, and I told you my record was 14, 14 peeps in one shot, and I could close my lips. And I only did 10. It was so disappointing. I was so upset with myself. So I thought if we have time in the show later on, then I got a whole bunch of peeps. I brought them into the studio, and we're going to give this another go. It might be like I don't know, the Peep sequel, or I don't know, Peeps 2.0. Who knows, something like that. But I'm gonna, if we have time, I'm gonna give it another shot and see if I can match or break my record. That 10, that was just a bunch of crap. That was terrible. So yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to do also. We're going to talk some more about the last recorded show. That was albums that were celebrating 40 years. all released in 1984. So I'll get into that in a minute. I've got my nephew over here sending me text messages telling me to take a shot. Well, no, you have to call into the show in order for me to take a shot. Sorry. But I want to say welcome to Jerry Gomez. Hope you're still out there, Jerry. It's so funny. It was just as I'm getting ready to jump in the shower, I see a notification on my phone, and he commented on my Facebook post about tonight's show. And where can I find it? So I said, we're on YouTube tonight. Come hang out and have some fun. So yeah. So Jerry's here. Yay for that. And welcome to the show. And I know Jerry. I've known Jerry for, like, I don't know, 40 something years, because he's the younger brother of Eddie Gomez. And Eddie and I went to school from the 7th grade on. Yeah. And Jerry, like I said, he's Eddie's younger brother. Jerry and I played baseball together in 1984. We were on the Braves, the Yorkfield Braves. Yeah, there you go. See, he's commenting. That's right. You got it right, Jerry. You got it right. So yeah. And Chuck was on that. Chuck was on that team also. Yeah, that's right. Champs, right? Champs that year. Took the championship. So, all right. So here we go. Once again, Friday Night Live. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, everyone. Okay, so let's get into this list, because after that show, and after I don't know, it was a couple days after, and I started thinking about this, and I'm going, wow. What I did, for those who didn't see the show, and it was pretty good. Thanks, Jerry. I started thinking about it, and like I said, for those who didn't see the show, I only gave you a list of 15 albums, ones that I felt were pretty significant in that particular artist, in their career, in their catalog, and I touched on a few things, and then a couple days later, I start thinking, I start thinking to myself, holy cow, this album came out in 1984. This one came out. And I'm thinking to myself, how could I not come up with these on my own? How could I not think about these? How could I forget about them? I own these. They're in my catalog. I mean, they're in my catalog of CDs. So I thought, and the more I thought about it, the more were coming to mind. So instead of forgetting about which ones I was thinking about, which ones were coming to mind, I just went on, and I've got a list of the 100 greatest albums of 1984. No, I'm not going to go over all 100 of them. But I'm going to point out the ones that I missed and are significant, are good albums. And if you have one, call it into the show. If you can think of one that was released in 1984, then call in with maybe it's your favorite album and it was released in 1984. Call into the show. Okay, so oh my gosh, it's so funny. The first 3 were on that list of 15. Purple Rain, Born in the USA, and Like a Virgin from Madonna. Number 5 on this list was Van Halen's 1984. Yep, I covered that one. Number 6 was The Unforgettable Fire by U2. Yep, covered that one. Number 9 on this list, and these are in no particular order. This is just a list of 100 of them. Ride the Lightning from Metallica. Yep, covered that one. Private Dancer. Yep, covered that one. Let's see. Wait, did we cover that one? I don't know. I think we did. Talking Heads Stop Making Sense. Yes. Well, here's one. Okay. Here's one from Echo and the Bunnymen, Ocean Rain. And I bring it up because, yeah, it was an amazing year in music. I don't know if that's Echo and the Bunnymen's debut album or not. And I like to say I don't think it is. And I don't know. I'm very honest with you all in all transparency. I don't go deep into Echo and the Bunnymen. I know like one or two songs. That's about it. This is okay. Oh, now this one here, Learning to Crawl from the Pretenders. How could I miss that one? How could I miss? But I missed it. I don't know how I missed that one. This one here too. Oh, I'm almost embarrassed as a music fan, and we talk so much music on this show, so I love music, and I'm so embarrassed that it got past me. I didn't think about it, forgot about it. Is Reckless from Bryan Adams. Now, I haven't looked at the stats on it, but this one might be the biggest album in his catalog. I mean, it is a huge album. What? Okay. Run to You, Summer of 69. Gosh, let me think of what else is on there. Somebody, not I Need Somebody, but Somebody. And then there's the duet with Tina Turner, which is just a killer song. Was it? Let me see. It's Only Love. That's it. It's Only Love. Yeah. Great video to that song too, but gosh, killer song. And I just can't believe I missed it. I when it hit me, I started thinking, wait a minute. Wasn't it early 85? But no, it was 1984. I think it was right towards the back end of 1984, around December. Like I said, I didn't look up any stats on this stuff. I just printed out this list because I was kind of a little embarrassed and a little ashamed and a little mad. How's that? Huh? So let's see. What else? What else is on here? Well, I don't think it's the debut album, no. But Make It Big by Wham, take Wake Me Up Before You Go. Yeah. A huge album for Wham. I think it might have been the last album for Wham because it was right after that George Michael broke out on his own. We did cover Heartbeat City from the Cars. Another one, Chicago 17. Great songs on that album. Great songs. Along Comes a Along Comes a Woman. Let's see. You're the Inspiration. And what was the other one? Hard Habit to Break, I think. Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. But great album. Great album. And I think that was Peter Cetera's last album with Chicago before he left, went on his own. But I'm just so embarrassed that I didn't even think of that. Another one right here. Building the Perfect Beast by Don Henley. Seriously? I mean, the great songs on that, and that one there, I don't know if it's going to be End of the Innocence or Building the Perfect Beast. Which one is larger? If I had to guess, I would say it's Building the Perfect Beast is going to be the bigger seller for Don Henley and his solo albums. That's my guess. Hey, look it up out there. Somebody look it up. Somebody look it up. Tell me which one is bigger, just so you can put it in the comments. Or better yet, call in. Because remember, excuse me, remember if you call in, I got to take a shot of this nasty Malort with an ugly bean. Well, it's a possibility of an ugly bean from Bean Boozled. Okay? So let me know. Let me know, people. What else? Well, yeah, the Footloose soundtrack, but I'm not really counting the soundtracks. Suddenly from Billy Ocean. Yeah, that was Caribbean Queen. And the title track, Suddenly. And I'm trying to think, what was the other one on there? Off the top of my head, I don't recall. Diamond Life from Sade. Yeah, I mean, huge album for her. I think it was her debut album. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. That's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, don't do it when you want to go to it. So on and so on. You're not going to get me to sing. Not too much anyway. A little bit, not a lot. Just ones that are come on. How did I leave this one out? Love at First Sting from the Scorpions. Are you kidding me? Their biggest album, Rock You Like a Hurricane, Big City Nights. What else? God, now I'm drawing a blank. What else was on there? But huge album, and I forget it. Big Bam Boom, a huge album for Hall & Oates. That might be their biggest album. Out of Touch, Method of Modern Love. What was the other one? Gosh, I'm trying. It's on the tip of my tongue. Can you see it? Can you see it out there? You didn't see it? Yeah, I didn't see it either. But that's probably because I'm looking at the screen and everything's fuzzy. Even with my glasses, everything's just fuzzy. So I couldn't see it either. Let's see what else. Oh, again. But I did talk about it last Friday. But Out of the Cellar from Rat, huge album. Their breakthrough. They had an EP about 2 years earlier. Huge album for Rat. Seriously. Stay Hungry from Twisted Sister. Huge album. Not a debut, but their breakthrough album. Gosh. Again, I'm so embarrassed. So embarrassed. But I was thinking, because it was released at the very back end of 1984, this album I'm going to tell you about right now. I was thinking it was 85 because I saw this band on this tour in 1985. And it did all blowing up in 1985. So I had that on my mind. And I've been talking about this band. I've done, I don't know what, 2 or 3 episodes regarding this band. And I totally blew it. I totally blew it. Agent Provocateur from Foreigner. Yeah. Got the biggest song in their catalog. Huge song. I Want to Know What Love Is. Can't believe I did that. Call myself a music fan? Serious? I call myself a Foreigner fan? Really? Golly. I don't know. What else is on here? We covered Last in Line from Dio. Oh, another one. And I call myself a Journey fan? How stupid am I? What a dummy. Street Talk from Steve Perry, his debut solo album. Yeah. What an idiot. Huge songs. Oh, Sherry, of course, the first release. Foolish Heart. Strung Out. And I think another single that he released was She's Mine. Huge album. And here, I just totally, forgot about it. What an idiot. Oh, well. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? So, and every time I want to put this down, this list, and just move on, there's something else. I see something else on the list that I have to shake my head. Wheels Are Turning, REO Speedwagon. Yeah. Huge album for them, especially coming off of trying to think of the album that followed up High Infidelity. Darn it. Can't think of it right now. It had 2 singles released off of it, Keep the Fire Burning and Sweet Time. And it kind of was a flop compared to High Infidelity. And this was like, boom, their comeback. This one was a huge one for REO. And big videos too. Big videos on MTV. So, yeah. Well, we can put this one down for now, I suppose. Right? I suppose. So, what else? What else are we doing? Oh, I'm still waiting for someone to call in and force me to take a drink of Malort. In fact, wait, I'm going to prep it right here. Let me get a bean. I don't know what that one is. It doesn't look pleasant. Where's my shot glass? My Mr. Spock shot glass. Look, it's still got. You can't. Oh, there's the bean. You can't see it. But see, I just leave this shot glass here in the studio and just let it do its thing. I don't, it doesn't meet the dishwasher, hasn't said hello to the dishwasher, and I can't tell you how long. So, yeah, look, it's just all part of the punishment. That's what it is. So, yeah, so I've got a nasty bean in there, which I have to eat. Oh, someone's calling in. Well, hello. Wait, hang on. Let me get you on speaker here. Hello, who's this?
This is Jerry. Hey, Ben.
Jerry, how are you doing?
Crazy. I'm so glad I just kind of got on social medias tonight, old school style, and found you.
Yeah.
With the devil.
Awesome. So how have you
Dude, you look good.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, I try anyway. I'm trying to do my best here. How are you doing?
Awesome. Shit. 1984, I guess, was 40 years ago, huh?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Well, hey, I can't let the brother go unnoticed. Sounds like you're basically asking for a call-in to do a shot. So
yeah. Well,
am I contributing to that?
You are contributing to that.
What is Mallorca?
It's Malort. Let me hold it up to the camera here. Wait, let me get that spun around here. Malort. Now I'll give you a little bit of background on it. This is from Jepson's. The company's name is Jepson's. They're out of Chicago, and they developed Malort back during Prohibition, when, of course, you couldn't sell alcohol. And the way they got around it is it was sold as medicine. So,
right,
yeah. So, yeah, and it's just not pleasant stuff. It really isn't. There's some people that think it's worse than it is. Maybe I've just built up a tolerance to it. I don't know. but
well, you can drink it and you can polish your jewelry in it too.
You probably could strip the paint off of your car with this stuff too.
Coca-Cola, supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that I always describe the taste as mouthwash that has gone bad. So
that sounds really lovely.
Yeah, so maybe like if you had
how many shots you got to take before you really start feeling it hurt?
I mean, I have a fairly high tolerance, but I don't even know what this is. It's 35% alcohol, so 70 proof. So it's right up there.
All right. Well, time's a wasting. Have you shot it yet? I'm not watching the screen.
Oh, okay. You're not watching the screen. Okay. Well, you're not watching the screen, but I'm tipping my glass to you right here, Jerry. Okay. Here's to you. Thanks for calling it. I'm gonna take this real quick here.
Bottoms up.
Oh, let me get the bean. I got the bean down at the bottom of the glass. Okay. Now, last week oh, that's bad.
The video is probably 3 seconds delayed from real time.
Okay.
So I didn't get to see you watch it.
Well, you know what? It'll be up tomorrow. I mean, it'll be up later on tonight. All these shows stay recorded. So, now, have you ever played Bean Boozled?
don't know what that is. What is that?
You know, Jelly Belly, the jelly bean company, been around for, I don't
Yeah.
know, 50 years. And they
Yeah.
have, 1,000 different flavors of jelly beans. I don't know how old this game is, but they came up with this game called Bean Boozled, and you can play it however you want to, I suppose. But they have about 6 or 8 varieties of beans in the box, and some of these flavors are nasty flavors, but you can't tell them apart from the good flavors because you could get one that it looks,
Oh,
yeah. So it's like you get a bean and you're taking a shot. I mean, is it going to be a good one or is it going to be a nasty one?
Yeah, I thought after Harry Potter movies came out, they actually came out with those jelly bean flavors like earwax and whatever.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't have it. I have like 4 or 5 different Bean Boozled, different editions of it.
Excellent.
I don't have anything that has earwax in it. Okay, I can tell you that. But when I
what's a bad flavor? Like what's one of the worst ones?
like skunk spray.
Yeah, that sounds pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Skunk spray's pretty. Yeah, that one's pretty bad. Stink bug is pretty bad. Barf. Yeah.
Well, that makes earwax sound kind of like
It almost it almost makes earwax sound pleasant, huh?
That doesn't sound so bad.
I know. But last week, I had to take I was limited to 1 shot last week, and I always throw a bean in the glass to start with, so I double up my punishment. But last week, I think I got like Tutti Frutti because it was really good. Tonight, no, it was nasty. I don't know what it was, but it was nasty. Maybe dog food or something like that.
So you got to put like, how much did you say your max was 14 beans in your mouth at one time?
Oh, no, 14 peeps. You know, the little marshmallow duckies or
those, yeah, Easter things.
Yeah. And I always like to do this thing called the peep pack.
Peep pack. All right.
Peep. Yeah. So I try to see how many I can cram in my pie hole and still close my lips and not throw up.
Well, hey, I think, you have a history of being a big mouth, loud mouth. And I mean that in a good way, because going back to us playing baseball, you were catcher, I was third base, championship team, and
that's right.
You got to take control of the situation. So you got to be heard on the field. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, I'm doing. I can't say I was called to do this, but I'm just. This is the way I tell my kids. Have always said for years, and not even just my kids. They always say, "Oh, you love the sound of your own voice," and I say no because I love talking. I said no. I really don't like the sound of my own voice. I just like to hear myself talk. So there's a difference.
Yeah, I suppose, but any way you shape it, I just cannot believe that much time has gone under the bridge. I refuse to believe it. I'll just keep working on that. To me, I think age is like a state of mind. So hearing you talk about those albums just takes you back to a time that doesn't seem as long as it was ago. And I'm sure people listening to your show, catching it, feel the same way. Those were good times, right? For sure.
No, they were great times. And I'm going through this list here, and obviously there's some tremendous albums on here from just whether it's classic artists or legendary artists, all that kind, or maybe it was like a one-hit wonder, but they had a huge debut album or something, But
such a creative time. I think you kind of inadvertently nailed it on the head. You were talking about great videos and stuff that was on MTV.
Yeah.
We were definitely that generation that went from AM radio, all kinds of stations, to video music. So these creative artist things, everyone was looking for it to put that out there. So you got a huge exposure of different styles of music and stuff that was breaking out. So That was a really great period. You're a couple years older than I am, or at least a year or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
I graduated.
But you know what?
That whole period of high school was.
Yeah, really, because you're the same age as Chuck.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So, but here's the thing, Jerry, and I say this. I've said this a lot in the past. I believe that we grew up. I mean, we were right in the wheelhouse of music when we grew up. It doesn't matter what the genre was. It doesn't matter if it was rock or pop or disco or R&B or whatever, but we grew up right in that wheelhouse because we were on the back end of, before we could really appreciate music, we were on the back end of the British invasion. And then you had, in the early 70s, you had all these other artists developing and breaking through. Kiss, Aerosmith, a few years later, Van Halen, bands like that. And then turning the decade into the 80s, when now we're in high school and in our young adult years leading into 84, 85, 86. So
there's such great, amazing musicianship and musicians.
Yeah.
Of course, at that time you fall into like a niche, but I'll always look back at that period as like this confluence of influences, because there were really, really, authentic analog musicians that knew how to do it. And being a kid that kind of roadied for bands at 14 and got into Sunset Strip, Hollywood kind of clubs at that age too, seeing guys played, and I played drum, I played guitar over the years too, but seeing guys that played, the standard of, oh, you got to be really good. And actually we grew up in Whittier, and like that area, North Whittier, right?
Yep.
There were all kinds of like serious musicians that were in that pocket, and it's really unusual. But when you saw, bands playing live, so much different. I don't like waxing poetic. There's great music coming out now too. It's just a different sort of thing. It's got consolidated. What was so cool was there were so many influences and pockets and regions, people looking for the next biggest thing, independent radio stations, and people trying to do like an MTV thing. So we were at a confluence of coming out of like 60s and 70s AM radio that played everything. So it was great to hear everything. And looking at it back in retrospect, I have great appreciation for all the bands that you're covering now that I didn't have at that time. But yeah, everybody was a great musician.
You just said something right now that I have talked about forever. I mean, even long before I started doing this podcast, but you just touched on something, talking about it beginning with AM radio, where they played everything, the top 40 radio. Okay. And I truly believe that's where my appreciation for so many different genres began, was listening to top 40 radio, because you would hear a rock and roll song, you would hear an R&B song, you'd hear a pop, a disco, a country song, so you would hear all these different genres within the hour.
And some of the better groups would experiment with genres on their record, just because they could, and they had the instincts to do things like that. So you weren't, beholden. I remember probably 82 listening to Zeppelin when it came out, and Fool in the Rain, something like that. My friend and I were just like, this sounds like Calypso, or it sounds like, sort of funky disco stuff. That's weird.
Well, yeah, it had, because it had, and it had a funky little shuffle kind of in the middle of it too, with the piano, and it kind of shuffled, and then it had like the Donna Summer disco whistle in it as well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was such a great time. Bands could experiment and sort of wear different colors, which was great.
Yeah, and it wouldn't hurt a band like Led Zeppelin either, because they had, by that time they had, 7 or 8 albums under their belt that were mightily successful. So they could do a little experimentation if they wanted to, and not worry about anything. Whereas now, and it has been this way for quite a while now, but you know, it's like one and done. You better bring your A game right out of the gate or you're done. Whereas before, a band would be allowed to take 2-3 albums, as many as 4 albums to really develop and hit their stride.
But everybody's got to do it sort of independently, and big music distribution forms and platforms, it's all consolidated.
Yeah.
So if you're still, interested in that kind of stuff, it's out there and it works at an independent level. But, times change, people's tastes change, and just the methods of delivery, and people that even have the time. You said about, driving for 4 hours or working an 8-hour day. Hell, dude, how many people come home that are just beaten down, and last thing they want to do is kind of go exploring or go out and check out some sort of live music type of thing. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than the live music experience, especially when the band you're going to see is just, they're on fire that night.
Yeah, there's a magic thing. Did you ever watch those Rick Beato kind of interview things? I'm sure you do.
No, huh?
Oh, write the name down. Rick
oh,
Beato.
No, he is on YouTube. Yeah, he is silver-haired guy, short hair.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I should check his stuff out.
Well, he's always speaking too. I luckily got called off of work today, and I watched him interview Leland Sklar.
Oh, yes.
Amazing bassist.
Yep.
All these guys always talk about like sort of creating music and the times that they came up and all those experiences. He's got great stories, and all of these elder statesman musician guys that are the real deal, they talk about all those kind of experiences. It's just a fun kind of a listen. So you get a lot out of it.
Right. Well, see, Lee Sklar is definitely a guy that's got about 1 million stories, if not more, because he's played with about 1 million different artists, whether it was as a touring musician or, simply doing session work in the studio.
Yeah, he's a first call guy. And if you don't know who he is, he's like, you've heard him play on just about everything, but early James Taylor stuff and Phil Collins kind of stuff as well. But he was first call because he could read and lived in LA area, so was on music jingles, played with the Wrecking Crew and all that kind of stuff.
Hold on one second, Jerry. Hold on. I want to reintroduce you. Okay, this is off the cuff. This is on the fly here, but I want to reintroduce you. I'm talking to Jerry Gomez. Long time ago, school classmate and teammate on the Yorkfield Braves championship team, 1984, by the way, the year that we happen to be talking about these great albums. But to get back to what you were talking about, yes. Now, hang on. So people, Jerry just mentioned Lee Sklar or Leland Sklar. Okay. If you're not familiar with who that is, check him out, because if you don't know you may not know the name, but when you see his face, you will know the face. And that guy, like you just heard us talking about, he's played with about 1 million guys. But I want to say where he probably got to the mainstream, where he probably got his biggest exposure, was on the Phil Collins videos, on Phil Collins' No Jacket Required album. He was in all those videos.
For sure. And he did tons of studio type of work. So you've certainly heard him, and he's super familiar looking. He's got this big old long, white beard, long flowing hair, and a little bald patch up on top.
Yep. and I think he was like the creator of, all the bands now, when they do a live show, at the end of the set, they all turn their back to the audience. They want to take a selfie with the crowd behind them and all that kind of stuff. I think Lee was the creator of that, because he used to do that just on his own years and years ago. 35 years ago, he was doing that kind of stuff. Just as a goof.
He's a great guy. We also just talked about Rick Beato. He's got great stuff on music, but Lee Sklar, he actually has sort of a podcast that he does too. So he'll talk about some of the stories and sessions that he's done.
I got to check.
I don't want to bog down.
Listen. I'm going to ask you one more thing, Jerry, and you're not bogging down the show. This is great stuff, This is great stuff. And this is Friday Night Live, people. Okay, I'm just letting you know that, all right? Friday Night Live. And when I'm done with Jerry, somebody else better follow this up with a call, all right? I'm just letting you know. You better follow up with another call. But Jerry, let me ask you one last thing here. Because I do talk a lot about music. And my entire podcast isn't only about music. I like to bring people into the studio or stream them in if they can't come into studio, and just have people tell their story. Okay, that's what the basis of this podcast is about. But I also tell people when there's no guests, it's just you and me, and we're going to talk a lot about music. So let me ask you this, because we're obviously both great music lovers. Can you recall a time when, whether it's a time or a place or a moment, when you fell in love with music? You heard something and you were hooked.
Yeah, I'll give you two things.
Okay.
And this was a trip cyclical thing. So my brother is your age or graduated years older than I did.
Yep.
So he was hip to it. My mother actually worked at a films in Hollywood. Grew up in San Antonio. Our family's very musical, and they took us to Beatlemania.
Oh.
But they also took like the Greek theater summer musical performances thing.
Mm-hmm,
So we were exposed to music at a very young age.
Okay.
But seeing live music that was theatrical, and Beatlemania, when it came out, probably in '78.
I think I think it was earlier than that, but it was right around there.
77, 78.
Yeah.
I think I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Going to see it like at the Amundsen or something like that, which was a full immersive like video and costume changes type of a thing. And it wasn't just like seeing a live band play; it was a big performance. That was a seminal type of a moment. So I bugged my parents to get a drum set, and I had a drum set when I was probably 11 years old or something like that.
Nice.
Took some music at More Livingston up in Uptown Whittier.
Yes. More Livingston. Oh, I love that. I love that store.
Yeah. If you know Whittier, that area, that was the place to get lessons from. And not only that, but that started it for me. The second instance was kind of coming full circle. In the early 90s, Elton John did a tour with Eric Clapton at Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
So they were revisiting Dodger Stadium. And just on a whim, you remember Music Plus out on Whittier Boulevard?
Yep.
Yep, for sure. Popped in there, saw like that might have been the day of the show, but saw that tickets were available, Ticketmaster, and I just asked, like, what good seats do you have? A single ticket, and I was probably like 24th row, pretty much center.
Oh man!
So I went to the show, and I broke down sort of like in tears, because it hit me so hard that I loved Elton John so much as a kid. That was actually the first record I bought on a birthday gift certificate at Lovel's.
Yeah.
In Uptown.
I love this.
As well.
I love this.
So, greatest hits. Yeah. And then put that away for years and years and years. Grew up a kid in the 80s, right?
Yep.
Punk, new wave, rock, and just alternative type of stuff. Didn't come back around till after high school. Just on a whim, bought the ticket, and then boom. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where just a piece of music connected and hit you right through your soul, right into your heart. And music and scents, smells, they have that way of triggering memories. And that's what's so great about music, is you can hear a piece of music from 40 years ago and remember, things that were happening in your life at that time. So
100%. And that I think that's one of the absolute beauties in music, is that, and it's just like for you, that's the same for me. I hear a particular song and that takes me right back to either the first time I heard it or a specific memory hearing that song, you know? And I'm going to share this with you because we haven't spoken in 40 years. So, and my audience has heard this before. So sorry, people. If you're new, great. It's all new to you. If you're not, well, sorry. So I go back to about, so it was probably about 1972, 73.
Right.
And we had this big giant console stereo, you know, the ones that were made of real wood that weighed about 250 pounds that were an actual piece of furniture in your house. So we had one of those big console stereos, and my mother had the Beatles 45 of Let It Be. And I try to remember what the B side of that was, and I can't. I remember it was a John Lennon song, and I know I didn't like it. But anyway, so she had the single for Let It Be, and she put it on the turntable of that stereo, and she sat down on the floor of our family room and sat in front of a typewriter. And as it played, she was typing away on goldenrod paper the lyrics to the song.
Oh, wow.
As it's playing. And of course, a time or two she had to stop and start it and that kind of thing. But when she was done with that, I hung on to that lyric sheet for I don't know how long, and I would put that 45 on over and over and over, and I would sing holding that goldenrod paper with the lyrics to Let It Be. So, and I think that's when it hit me. That was when my true love for music began.
I hear you, man. People can develop a love affair with music. Whatever they're passionate about, there's going to be a thing that they develop. It becomes a muse, or it becomes this thing that's a constant in your life.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about it. And that's an awesome story. What's awesome about it is that it's similar to sort of mine.
Yeah.
Like, your mother passed on the love of music to you. And that's a super cool memento. You still got the sheet?
I don't have that sheet. I don't even have that single any longer. And like a dummy, I remember I had a couple of like gateway bands. Like the first music I bought with my own money, I bought like Demons and Wizards from Uriah Heep. And I bought 3 albums. I bought 3 albums. Demons and Wizards from Uriah Heep, the soundtrack to the Rocky Horror Show, the play, not the movie, and which is so much better. And I can't remember the third one, but I would say like Uriah Heep and Kiss were like my gateway bands, and the Beatles, because I went back once I started buying music with my own money, levels, and I would buy Kiss or I would buy the Beatles, and in 1983, shortly after graduation, I went back to Levels and sold all of my Beatles records and sold all of my Kiss records and sold almost all of my records and got a whole like $85 for them. Like an idiot. So,
I think Kiss was probably in my first 3 record purchases as well.
Yeah.
Dressed up as Kiss for Halloween and whatnot. So
very
fun.
Oh, yeah. Look, hey, Jerry, look, this has been an absolute blast. It really has. Thank you so much for reaching out to me on Facebook. Reach out to me again. Send me a friend request or whatever, and then we're gonna hook up on Facebook. And you know what? Maybe we'll do this again on the show too. It doesn't have to be Friday Night Live. Maybe we'll do this again. We can either stream, or if you happen to be in the area or whatever, we'll hook something up just to talk about music stories and tell your story. That would be so awesome.
Oh, I appreciate you, man. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yes, musical family. My brother been there. I'm sure you know his story, but
yeah,
I'll throw like a quick mention that I was lucky enough to have been a brief general manager for a music publishing company, which is because of all the success that my brother had.
Yeah.
And he's got great stories because he got like sick into the music scene, music industry himself. So if there's someone to speak to, he should write a book because he's been in a lot of places with a lot of those type of people. But good times, man. It was great to find you. You look good. Keep it up. Glad you're doing it, and best of luck.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jerry. And like I said, let's stay in touch. All right.
All right, you got it, brother.
Hey, take care now.
All right.
All righty, we'll see you. Bye now. Oh, yeah, there he goes. There he goes. Jerry Gomez. Man, a blast from the past. Look, that was a ton of fun. That was a great conversation there. I hope you all appreciated that one. That was something else. And yes, he was touching on his older brother, Eddie, a little bit. And Eddie would definitely have some tremendous music stories. We should get Eddie on here. Maybe we'll have Eddie and Jerry on at the same time. Have the Gomez brothers in here, to just share their music stories. That would be awesome. That really would. That would be cool. And I think for you music lovers out there, it would be a treat. I really think that you would dig it. So yeah, that was cool, man. That was cool. Thanks to Jerry for that. And now I have his phone number, so now I'm gonna save it, and it's all good. Yes. I'm looking over at those peeps. I don't know. Should I? Somebody, send me a comment. Send me a text, call in, and tell me whether I should try this. I should try to repeat or no, actually better my performance at the Peep Pack. All right. Let me know, because we're going to start winding down here in a couple minutes. All right. Man, that was great. I'm so glad Jerry called. That was so awesome. Yeah. Let me take a drink real quick. Oh yeah. Let's see if there are any other notable albums on here. I don't go deep into Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I don't know if this was his debut album or not, but Stevie Ray Vaughan's Couldn't Stand the Weather, that came out in 1984. I don't know. I don't know what songs are on that. I'm not sure, but I have heard that one more than once. That's a pretty, I don't want to say I guess landmark album for Stevie. Let's see what else. The Glamorous Life. 4 of us vote yes for the Peeps. Oh, that's from my niece. My niece Anita. They say I gotta go Peep Pack, huh? All right. Well, let's go through the last page on this list real quick. I might have to holler at Catherine to come on in here though, because look, if you're going to end up listening to this on Buzzsprout or on whatever podcast platform you subscribe to or you listen to your podcasts on, you don't want to hear a bunch of moaning and groaning with a mouthful of Peeps. It doesn't make for a good show. What else is on here? Oh, the Jacksons album. Yeah, the Jacksons album, Victory. Yeah, that was 1984. Holy cow. That one had Torture. That's such a good song. That was a really good song. And then the song that Michael and Mick Jagger did, State of Shock. Yeah, that's just such a funky song. I like that. That's a good one. Yeah. VOA from Sammy Hagar. Yep. That's a big one. I Can't Drive 55. Let's see. Go Insane, Lindsey Buckingham. That I only know that. Oh wait, I think he had 2. He had Go Insane. Trying to think of what else he had on there. I don't know. I don't remember what else he had. But I'll tell you what, Lindsey Buckingham. Oh my gosh. As far as guitar players go, One of the absolute finest ever. And he doesn't even use a pick. No, he's got long fingernails and he uses his finger, and they're on all of his fingers. So he uses all of his fingers and he's plucking away. Great guitar player. And if you want to go and listen to this song, it's Big Love, but not the studio version from whatever it was, 1987 or something. No, listen to Big Love live. The live version, it's off of The Dance. Yeah, I think that was like what, mid 90s or something, 95, 96, 97, somewhere right around in that area. The Dance, and listen to Big Love. And it's Lindsay and a guitar, and that is it. And it is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, so good. Okay. So I'm getting some, hang on, I was getting some text messages here. So I don't know. Let me see. Oh, wait a second. Oh, okay. Somebody sent me a recording. Name this tune. That was Danny who sent that. Oh, okay, good. Let me see. You won't be able to hear it. Oh, that's theme from Mission Impossible. All right, let me hear the other one. You won't be able to hear it because I can't. Copyright and stuff. It won't. My system won't record anything that's not it's copyrighted. So let me hear this. Yes, I think I'm sexy. That was "Do You Think I'm Sexy" from Rod Stewart. So I got both of those. All right. Okay, I'm getting bugged. I'm getting bugged here about jamming some peeps down my pie hole. Hey, Catherine! That's so professional, isn't it? Can you come up here? All right. She's gonna do it. Actually, she told me earlier, she said, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." And I said, Oh, there's the plate. And I said, No. You have to. And she's like, "No, I don't have to do that." And then she's trying to tell me, "No, you can't do it." And I said, "You can't tell me what to do. I'm my own man here. If I want to cram peeps in my pie hole, that's exactly what I'm going to do." Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 5 is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 16 peeps right here, okay? All right, so we're going to see. Let's just see if we can do this. Oops. Let's put the phone back over here. Let's put the phone back over here in case somebody calls in. All right. Let's get this plate over here. This is how we're going to close out the show, huh? Yeah. All right.
So did everyone have a number of guesses? How many you're going to do?
No one's guessed.
Oh. 5?
No. We know we got to do at least 10, but.
What'd you do last week again?
10. That was 10. It. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, every time he puts one in, I'll put a finger up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It should be, the microphone should pick you up pretty well, but you're all the way over there. It should pick you up okay, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Don't talk as loud as someone.
That is true. You're not quite as loud as somebody we know. So you are going to have to talk a little louder. All right.
I feel like I should have like a drum roll
I feel like I should have like a
bell. You know, I do have a bell somewhere.
15, huh? Anita, I struggled to get 10 last week, and I can't believe it because my record is 14. What'd she just say?
Out?
No, I haven't taken it out yet. Okay. I have a big pie hole, but I'm going to. All right. So let's do this here. Put that right there.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure it's not showing.
All right. Well, this is 5 right here. Okay, this is 5.
Everyone knows how much I love to talk on this podcast.
Well, you're gonna speak up. Here, let me turn the microphone.
Maybe I should sing a song like "Wheels on the Bus Go Round."
Oh, please! All right, here we go. All right, you got to count with me. All right.
Okay. Ready? 1. 2. Oh, last week it was so gross, and he was almost gagging.
It was terrible.
He was, it's pretty gross. 3.
I think I just
Yeah.
rushed it. I don't know.
Maybe. 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
5.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
Ray. Hi, Angel.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, here is number 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's easier for people.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a Vanna White talk show host.
Mm.
Didn't say much either, right?
Mm.
7.
Mm.
I'm counting.
Mm. Mm.
8.
Mm.
Oh, the sound. Can you hear all that lovely sound?
Mm.
9.
Mm.
Oh, here's almost 10. This
Mm.
matches up for last week. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. Just getting ready to. Yeah. And 10. Okay, so that is it for last. Okay, so now let's see if he could increase that. Okay, ready? So this is 11. 11. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, is this it? Is this going to be it? If only people aren't. Yeah, tune in, people, because you can actually see him spit them out one by one. Uh-oh. Let's see. 12. He did it. Almost. No, he needs 2 more to beat his record. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like... It looks like it's all coming out. Oh, the goo. I'm going to... The goo. The goo. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you for tuning in.
Right, we're not done yet. No, we're not done.
Oh.
Look.
That's it.
I know. I'm still eating some, though.
Oh. It's even more gross.
Watch. Check this out.
I don't think they want to see. Ugh. Okay, I'm done. Bye, people.
All right. At least I did 12, okay? Ugh! Ugh! Hold on, Danny. You guys got to be braver than that. You got to call in or something. I just tell you. I'm getting text messages. Now I'm all sticky. I'm getting text messages from members of my family, my niece and my nephew. Take a shot. Wash it down with a shot. Ew, breathe. Oh, you're going to do 15. Well, no, I did 12. So what's the lesson here? Oh, let's get this microphone back over here. What's the lesson? Last week was 10 and I rushed it. I think that's why I blew it. Today was 12, a little bit better than 10. I'm still too shy of my record. Ooh. I still have more peeps. Yes. Maybe we'll save them up for the next Friday Night Live. Oh, we have new comments? Where's the new comments? Wait, hang on. Hi. You know what? I don't know why I'm missing all these comments. Wait, where are they? Oh, it's just coming in from the last few minutes. Land Cloud Adventures. Land Cloud Adventure. I'm not sure who Land Cloud Adventures is, but thank you. And they said, I don't advise doing this with hard-boiled eggs. Taking those from personal experience. No. I will blow up the sugar off my keyboard. Oh. I'll put my retainer back in. Okay. So, oh yeah. Well, I believed in me too, but I didn't get to 14. So we'll figure it, Tweety Bird, right? Yes. It's only 1 dozen. I know it's 1 dozen, but hey, listen, we'll give it another shot. Like I said, I still have more peeps, so we'll save it for the next Friday Night Live. Well, I'm glad, Land Cloud Adventures. I see where you said, okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, everybody. I'm reading all of the comments. Land Cloud Adventures probably sent about 10 comments, and I was missing them, so I'm catching up. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I have to ask, does that turn your poop yellow? The internet wants to know. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But no. But I'll tell you this, and I don't want to get gross or anything, but a couple weeks ago I was at my great nephew's birthday party, his 18th birthday party, and they had black frosting on the cupcakes. Black. With food color. Why? I don't know. Who puts black frosting on cupcakes? Well, it didn't turn my poop black, but it did turn it green for about 3 days. Yeah, that's weird. YouTube algorithm sent me here. Oh, well, good. Hey, thank you for hitting the subscribe button. I appreciate it. What's your first name? Put your first name in there. Send me a comment with your first name. I've got my niece and nephew telling me I got to wash this stuff down with a shot. So let me throw a bean in here. Take one last shot. Nate. All right, Nate. Good to meet you tonight, Nate. We're just out here having some fun on a Friday night. And Nate, thank you for subscribing. This isn't something that we do or I do on a regular basis. This is what I call Friday Night Live, a very original name. But if you check out the other episodes, I have 39 other episodes, including some Friday Night Lives in there, then you'll see what this podcast is all about. So thank you so much for this. All right. For Danny and Anita. And you know what, Nate? For the newcomer, cheers to you, okay? Oh, by the way, Nate, this is Malort. In case you tuned in late, I don't know where you came into the stream here. This is Malort, the worst tasting liquor in the world. Yes. So cheers to you. Ooh, that's nasty. Now, what about the bean? Oh gosh. Oh, that's a double shot there. The bean, I think that's a barf one. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. And here I sit still chewing it and everything else. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to go brush my teeth, wash all this stuff out of my mouth and everything. Ugh. And wash my hands. They're all sticky too. All right, people, look. It's Friday Night Live tonight. We had some fun. That's a wrap for tonight, okay? Thank you so much for being here tonight, spending a little bit of time, spending a little bit of your Friday evening. Maybe this was your date night. If it was, awesome. All right? Maybe you told your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or wife, hey, nope, we're not going anywhere. We're tuning into the Ben Maynard program. That's what we're doing tonight. Well, if that's what you did, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And thanks to Catherine for getting the ball rolling at 7 o'clock this evening. Because, as you know, I was a few minutes late. So anyway, just to close things out, as everyone knows, but I have to remind you, this program is available on multiple podcast platforms. like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Or if you just search the Ben Maynard program, you will find multiple options to choose from. I want to steer everybody towards my website, which is on Buzzsprout. You can listen to the audio version of this podcast on all of those, okay? But if you like to watch gross things like a mouthful of Peeps, drinking nasty Malort, eating horrible jelly beans, or you just simply can't resist all of this right here and you're watching on YouTube, then please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. All right. And last but not least, follow me on Instagram. Simply Ben Maynard Program. With that, folks, that is it. Thank you so much for being here on Friday Night Live. We'll see you next time, okay? This is the Ben Maynard Program, and you tell a friend.